What is up, you all? What is up? It is another day, another time, and another week for your favorite Friday night show. What is it called, Brandis?
It's called After Show Vibes.
Yes. Y'all, look, we appreciate y'all rocking with us and supporting us the way y'all have. Like, y'all been rocking with us hard, and we love it. The numbers on the after show, on the podcast numbers, been killing. So I let me know y'all been loving what we been bringing.
Thank
So we really appreciate y'all, and let's keep that going. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, share these shows with your friends, share it with your enemies, even, and let them know that our episode vibes is on,
you.
and let them
Haters.
know, yes, let them know that
Uh,
Brandis and I are definitely coming with that fire every time. And also, we told y'all last week that we by this week we would have an email set up. And if you would like to email us, you can always email us at ASWSHOW vibes at gmail.com. Once again, that is a show vibes at gmail.com. And if you got any topics or anything, let me and Brandis know. We'll
hit us
definitely
up.
love to. We would love
Yep.
to work with y'all, and we'll work that topic in. We'll send that email again at the end of the show. But Brandis, let them know what we talking about on tonight, sis.
All right. So, believe the topic for this evening is very simple question. Is love enough when it comes
Mm,
to relationships?
come on,
Is
somebody.
love enough?
Dude.
James, what do you think?
Mm. I used to think that it was, and literally, the I was in a relationship, and I used to tell this girl all the time, "I love you, babe. I love you. I love you. I love you." And she's like, "I get that, but is love enough?" And I used to get mad when she asked that question. But as I've gotten older now, and I've done experienced some things, I'm like, that's a very truthful question. Is love enough? Because is love gonna help me when I feel like you playing me? Is love gonna help me when bills gotta be paid? Is love gonna help me when I need food? Is love gonna help me in those situations? So I get it. What about you?
My answer to that question is I think, like you, when I was younger, in my 20s, I used to think that that was like, I love you, you love me. That's all. Like that's all we need. Like we can conquer the world. And as you get older and you go through some things and you learn some things, you have some heartaches, you have some trials and tribulations, you learn in relationships, love is not enough. And you have to kind of define what love is, because in society, love does not mean the like in society, like love doesn't all mean the same thing. Everybody have their own definitions of what love is. um and I always tell people love is not a feeling. Feelings change. Love is something that should be constant. Love is action. So if I love you, my actions need to demonstrate that love towards you. Like if you want to, because we're people of faith, if you want to um basically not compare, but if you want to kind of um give a similar like antidote, give a similar antidote to what I'm saying, like Jesus loved us, right? So his action of him dying on the cross
We're
to
showing that
save us
love.
demonstrated his love towards us. It wasn't just him saying, I love you. It's not just God saying, I love you. God demonstrated his love by sending his son to save us. And then Jesus demonstrated his love by being obedient in that he died for our sins so that he could be, he could be our recompense. Like he could be the one to step in and fill in the gap. So when it comes to relationships between men and women, it's action. Like, you love me, so how do you demonstrate that love towards me? How do you show up in my world, and vice versa? How do I show you that I love you? And then you have to also, like, be aware of how people want to be loved, because the way that I want to be loved may not necessarily be the way that my partner wants to be loved or needs to
Facts.
be loved.
Facts.
So,
Facts. And just because you've been in a relationship before and somebody else's love language was this, that doesn't mean that your next partner's love language is the same thing.
of course, that's why
I've
it's
been
important for you to take time to get to know each other. Like, you should be able to see a person in all seasons. And when I
mm,
say all seasons, I don't mean like seasons as in the weather, but you have 4 seasons. So you should be
mad,
able to see the
happy.
person when they're happy. You should be able to see this person when they're sad. How do they respond when they get upset? How do they respond during difficulties and trials and tribulations? How do they respond or act, when they're excited, or when they're having when they're handling blessings, or they're handling, they're having, good times. How do they respond when they're dealing with, sadness or grief, or, they're dealing with mental issues, like, like like how do they handle themselves throughout those seasons? And if you have not seen a person in all seasons of their life, you're going to be in for a rude awakening.
How do they handle it when life be lifing?
Like,
Because
it's
let's be real, life is definitely gonna be lifing at one moment in your life, or not. Like, believe it or not. And like the funny thing about it was I didn't even realize that I was trying to love this person in another person's love language until they called me out on it. And they're like, "You don't even know me." I'm like, "Yeah, I do. You like kids? You like kids? You like kids?" She's like, "No, I've never liked those things." And I'm just sitting there looking stupid at that point because I'm like, she said, "You've been so busy trying to buy my affection that all I wanted was your time."
But did she turn it down?
She did eventually.
No, she ain't, but that's eventually. Like, you know what I'm saying? If she knew from the beginning, like, hey, this is not how I prefer to be loved. Like, you kept accepting it until you got to a point where it's like, okay, now this is
Too
this
much.
too much, because this person is not trying to
Get
to
to know
know
me.
who I am, or the things that I like, or but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, what is love to you, sis? Let's go there. What is love to you? Because, a lot of people get it mixed up between love and lust. They think just because they in lust with somebody that they're in love.
Um, Love for me is love for me is, again, like, love is an action. So it's you being able to um create a safe space for me to be vulnerable. That doesn't mean that you put up with, any BS that I might bring. That doesn't mean that you just let me do whatever I want. That also means, you being able to, correct me when I'm wrong, give me constructive feedback, show me support and encouragement, um, you know, show me comfort, affection,
Right.
just overall, um, being present and being aware of my feelings, and then taking those into consideration when you are dealing with me. you know um I'm not necessarily fragile, but you want to out you for me, you need to be able to handle me with care, but you still need to be able to be firm when it's time for you to be firm. So it's not a thing of, oh, I feel these butterflies in my stomach and that's how
Mm-mm.
I know that
That's kiddish.
that's how I know I'm in love, because, and it's just like that feeling will pass. So then after that feeling passed, then what? After that feeling passes, then what? Like, it for me, it's like, can I love you when I'm mad?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When you do something that I don't like, do I still love you? Or if something happens and we don't agree on something, like you don't see my point of view, or you don't take my position, do uh, do I stop loving you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I stop loving you? Or if I don't hear from you in a couple of days, my love can't be swayed by, it can't be like swayed by what you do. Like, either I love you or I don't. It's not, well, I'm mad at you today, so I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like, it's very dangerous when people rely on how they feel about something. This is how this is it's I'm not saying that we can't acknowledge how a person feels or how someone makes you feel, but ultimately you have to decide, okay, this person makes me feel this way. So now what do I do with these feelings? What do I do from here?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts on facts. Because let's be real, feelings will fade. Like we said, feelings are gonna fade away. There's been times where like I felt like, oh, this could be the one, this could be the one, this could really be the one that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. And literally last night, I'll never forget it. I was on the phone with a girl that's like a big sis to me, and we
Mhm.
was talking, and and I was just telling her about a friend,
Mhm.
and literally, as I'm talking to her, she's like, "Bruh, you do realize you have a type, right?" I'm like, "What you mean by that? I ain't got no type." Whoop de whoop de whoop. She's like, "You don't even realize it, but I can tell you your type right now." So I'm like, "Bet, I bet. Prove me wrong. Prove me." So I sent her a couple of photos, and she's like, "This is your type right here." And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "How do you know?" She said, "Because every time you bring up a female, this is the type of female that you bring up." She said, "So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but make sure that your type is lining up with the type of woman that God is trying to provide for you." So definitely can agree with that. So, what are some things that you look for in love? I know we said like consistency and all of that, but what are some other things that you look for when you say before you say that you love somebody?
What do you mean?
Like certain actions that you look for in a person, or certain attributes.
Um, certain things that I look for, um, is a person's ability to be responsible, respectful. Um, humor is definitely humor is definitely something that is important to me because I like to laugh. So you know, if you're able to, make me laugh without like, you know, doing the most or trying extra hard, that's great. But I mean, honestly, it really is just a matter of just getting to know an individual. Like initially, what's gonna attract me is, of course, like how you look, um, your conversation,
Right.
um, the respect factor, um, and again, like I said, um, being funny. Now, to get me to a place where it's like I love this person, it's just it's just a matter of like, just conversation and getting to know this person over time and getting to know, like, seeing this person's integrity, um, you know, seeing how this person treats you. And I feel like for me, if I'm with someone and they make me want to step my game up,
They
that
automatically win in
that's
my book.
for me, that's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I can love this individual. This individual makes me want to be a better me. And then they encourage me to be a better version of myself. They don't allow me to stay in a low place. And of course, like, gotta love God. So, uh,
Yeah, that's a number one. That's a number one.
so we ain't stepping backwards.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Like I'm with you on that. Like number one, you gotta love God. But after that, like I want to
What about
see.
you?
I knew you was about to ask me that. So for me, I gotta see you, and like we said originally, I gotta see you in all four seasons or all five seasons. Mad, happy, sad, depressed, all that. I gotta see it. I gotta see how you handle adversity, all of that. But then also, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for my best friend. I'm not looking for just a lover. I'm looking for somebody that's gonna be my best friend as well. Like I'm looking for somebody that when I'm sitting here in the studio all hours of the night, working, recording, and all of that, she's literally pulling me out of here talking about, baby, it's time for bed. I'm looking for somebody that will make me want to set it down for a little bit and like enjoy time with her. We grown, so we all know what that means. But also, like I'm looking for somebody that is like going to not only that is going to support me as well, like, and I'm not talking financially. I'm talking about praying for me. I'm talking about when she sees new stuff that I have dropping, she's one of the first ones sharing it. She's
Mhm,
like she's like my number one fan.
mhm,
So it's like I love that type of energy. Like that's the type of energy that I'm looking for, and vice versa. I'm gonna be her number one fan too. So it's like I'm looking for somebody that I can build an empire with.
mhm.
That's what I'm looking for. Before I can say I love you, I gotta make sure that you coming to the table with something besides a cute face and a smile.
Mhm.
Cause let's keep it real, I've done dealt with that. And that cute face and the smile, yeah, it was good for a little bit. But after a while, when it got down to that substance, You like, okay, yeah, you ain't
Was
with me.
lacking. They was lacking.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you ain't with me on that.
Okay.
So, yo, this was a good one tonight. This really was a good one tonight. It was short, but it was good.
Yeah. But let's I want to kind of leave the people with um just some words of encouragement. When it comes to um you know I don't subscribe to the love is love. So let
Mm-mm,
me just first put that out there.
mm-mm.
I don't subscribe to that, because that love is love. It's based upon a feeling, and it's based upon the premise that anything is acceptable. What I will say about love is that when it comes to relationships, get to know the person that you potentially want to spend the rest of your life with, and get to know them outside of sex.
Come on.
Get to know, because contrary to popular belief, sex will cloud your judgment.
Say it, sis.
A
Say it.
good D will have you thinking
Mm,
that a man like this will have you think this man is amazing. Meanwhile, he's trash.
man, good kitty
Like,
will have you
meanwhile,
doing
he's
that
trash.
same thing. Good kitty will
Good,
have you doing that
good,
same thing.
good D will have you thinking this woman is top tier. Meanwhile, she's bottom of the barrel.
Mm.
So,
Woo!
so you cannot let you cannot let sex cloud your judgment.
Mm.
You have to get you have to get to know a person outside of that. And then you have to um everybody has a set of standards for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that you are absolutely not going to budge on. There are things that are going to be absolute deal breakers for you. There are things that, okay, you know what, this I can negotiate or compromise on. Like, do not be scared to stand on business. Don't. Do not be scared to stand on your standards. Like, if this is something that, you know what, this is my boundary, and you cannot go outside of that boundary, you cannot cross it.
Right.
If you cross it, we done.
In the words
Don't
of
keep
Beyonce, to the
don't
left,
keep
to the
moving,
left.
don't keep moving the goalpost, you know what I'm saying, to accommodate somebody that is manipulative in behavior. Like, yo, I thought you loved me, you know what I'm saying? You don't even want to, like, well then, nigga, I guess I don't. I guess I don't love
Come
you,
on.
because I said that this is my boundary, and we not gonna cross that.
Facts.
So, when it comes to love, stop looking for a feeling. Like, love needs to be demonstrated. That's when you know it's real love. When
Uh,
that love can be demonstrated, not when it can be manipulated. Not when somebody can only do for you if you do X, Y, and Z. So if if you do X, Y, and Z, then I love you. But if you
mm-mm.
don't do that, then I don't love you. Like, that's manipulative behavior. That's witchcraft. Like, we not dealing with that. So don't don't look for a feeling, because your feelings are not constant. They will change.
Mm.
You may be feeling happy today, something can happen, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it boggles my mind, because you can be and the reason why I can say it is because I've been there. I've been there, in love with a guy, and then next thing you know, like, I find out he don't even feel the same way about me. Do you know how that crushes a spirit? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't rely on how you feel. Don't rely on, oh, it's in my heart. Your heart is just what it,
Deceitful.
yes.
That is the dumbest thing to rely on. Your heart
The
will lie to
heart,
you in a
the
heartbeat.
Bible tells you, is the heart is deceitfully wicked. You cannot trust your heart. First of all, the heart is an organ.
Come on.
Let's go there. Like, the heart is an organ. But I get, you know what I'm saying? I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, the heart is, like, where you hold your, but no, you can't depend on that. You can't depend. And I'm not saying that you have to just solely depend on logic, but what I'm saying is you have to look at actions. So it has to go hand in hand. That feeling and then the actions to either confirm or deny
That
that
feeling.
feeling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I feel this way, I get all the feels. You know what I'm saying? But his actions are not demonstrating what I should be feeling, then it's like, sometimes as women, because we are emotional beings, sometimes we will um we will hold on to a feeling just because we are afraid to be alone. We will hold on to a feeling just because we don't want to look foolish. We will hold on to a feeling because he got potential. Like, yeah, he got the potential to hurt you. Like,
He
is
got the
that is
potential to lie to you. He
like
got the
is
potential
that
to
like
abuse you.
is that what you want? And I mean, and it goes for men too. You know what I'm saying? Like, men don't, they don't show it as much as we do, but men hold on to, what I'm saying, they don't get as attached as women do, but some men do will hold on to this feeling, like, man, I just, like, shorty, just, what I'm saying. And a lot of
See a
times that
baddie.
feeling,
See a baddie.
a lot of times that feeling is attached to, is there a lot of times it's a sexual component to that feeling for men. Women, we don't have to have that sexual component. Like, if I'm emotionally invested in you, then I'm already, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already there. You already got me. But so, I'm saying all that to say is that, when you're talking about love and you're wondering if love is enough, relationships take more than love. Relationships cannot survive on love alone. It cannot survive on, like, think about, Jesus came down to earth, and he didn't just come down to earth and then he just was like, okay, I'm just gonna love.
No. He
You know
died.
what I'm saying? Like, he didn't come down to earth and say, I'm saving y'all anyway, so I don't have to do nothing. I'm just gonna just smile and love you. Like, I love you, my child.
Mm-mm.
I love you, my child. No, he did work. He put actions. He demonstrated.
That love.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he did work. And so, if people get into relationships and you think you don't have work to do, you think that, like, relationship's supposed to be Twinkies and cupcakes all the time. Like, your relationship is not going to last, because, first of all, your foundation is not solid.
At all.
Uh-huh.
You setting yourself up for failure.
Your foundation is on sweets.
Mm. Come on.
Like, your
Like,
foundation your foundation is on candy. Like, your foundation needs to be solid.
if you really want to get technical with it,
It needs to be solid.
If you really want to get technical with it, the best way to describe what love is First Corinthians the 13th chapter, verse 4, where it says, Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaineth not itself. It is not puffed up. Doeth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. It is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. So if you ain't ready to do all that, then love ain't enough, because that's true love right there.
It is. It is.
You showing
And
love through
again,
everything.
all of those things come with demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All of those things come with demonstration. So if I'm in a relationship, I can't seek my own way. I can't always seek my own way. Like I have to consider the other person. I can't be puffed up
Mm.
and conceited, and it's like it's all about me, me, me. Like I can't be selfish. Like love can't, it doesn't command me to do that. Like so I have to be able um to to I have to
To
be able to
reach
put that into action.
right.
I have
Yeah,
to be
you
able to put
got
that
to.
into action. So, if if you guys are in relationships, or you're looking to be in relationships, or you're thinking about relationships, or like
Get ready
in
for the
any of
work.
that, you have to be prepared to not just work on the relationship, but you have to be prepared to work on yourself.
Yourself.
You have to be able to,
Take constructive criticism.
I mean, you just have to be able to lay aside your own selfishness to be able to consider someone else. And you
Facts.
have to be ready to demonstrate it. You have to be ready to show love. Love does love is not buying gifts. That doesn't mean that you cannot buy gifts, because some people, what I'm saying, like their love language is, is they like to receive, they like to receive
Gifts.
gifts, or or they like to give gifts. But what I'm saying is that is not a demonstration. Santa Claus, because I don't believe in Santa Claus, but
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus gives gifts. Like what I can't remember the exact. Let me tell you something. Y'all might hear me quote scripture and stuff like that. I know the word. I don't necessarily know exactly where where it is. I don't always know exactly what the scripture is, but trust me, I've been in church long enough to know
Come on.
the word comes out of me. So I'm just saying, like, don't the Bible say, like, even um
Even the devil knows the way.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he knows the word, but like even evil people know how to give gifts.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So you giving someone a gift, or you buying something for someone, or you like anything that you think is like in material, in terms of materialistic, that's not a demonstration of love, because you can be manipulative with buying someone. If my man come home and smack me in the face every day, and then turn around and buy me roses and diamonds or necklace, or he buys me a new dress, like that
That
don't
ain't
mean,
love.
you know what I'm saying, like he don't love me. This nigga just slapped me in the face. That's not love. That's manipulation.
But then they'll say I love you, but that's when you gotta look at them
But
like Tina
again,
did
because
I. What does love
that's
gotta do with it?
manipulation. So, you know, I just
Yeah, so definitely be back.
love that they want. But again, the be make sure that you are ready to give the love that you want for yourself. The type of love that you want for yourself, be able to give that or demonstrate that and stop just relying on how you feel, because you might feel this way about this person today, and then tomorrow they're gonna do something to make you mad, and then you like, oh, I can't stand him, I don't love him no more, or I can't stand her, I don't love her no more. So it's more than just a feeling, and love is not enough for a relationship to last.
Last, no, you gotta have more than that.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yep, and y'all, we love topics like this, and we, like I said, y'all do not know what you're gonna get from an after show vibe from week to week. This week it was on love. You never know what next week is gonna be about. You never know. Brandis and I are, when we came up with the idea for this show, we said we want to be able to discuss a little bit of everything. And trust and believe me, that's what we're gonna be doing. So definitely stay tuned. Like we said in the beginning of the show, if you would like to email us a topic, you can always do it to a
A show
show
vibes at
vibes at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. So definitely reach out to us. Rate our podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and everywhere podcasts are played. Let's get those ratings up. Share, subscribe to us on YouTube. And y'all, we will definitely see y'all again next week. Peace. Love
Peace.
y'all.